AutoCAD user, it's not uncommon for you to get some floor plan files in JPEG form that you need to edit on AutoCAD. So the question is, can you use those JPEG images on AutoCAD and edit them natively on the program? The quick answer is no, you technically can't. AutoCAD and other CAD programs typically work on vector file formats, and since JPEG is an example of a raster file format, it's not easy to edit the image itself on AutoCAD as it is. Here on ScanTCAD, we have a raster file opened up, and you can tell if it's a raster file once you zoom in and see that it's made out of pixels and not editable vector lines. So if you want to open up a JPEG file on ScanTCAD and edit it there, you first have to convert it into a vector file. Luckily enough, ScanTCAD is able to do that easily. So with this raster file opened up here, we just have to click on clean raster image because we want the clean raster file first before converting it into a vector. Typically, if this option is available, you're going to want to click on threshold black and white. It's grayed out already because this particular raster file is already black and white. If it's a bit of a messy raster image, you're going to want to click on remove speckles and holes to get rid of any speckles or holes that you don't want to include in your final vector output. And if it's a little jagged, the smooth option usually helps out with that. Some raster files also have some pretty thin lines, so you're going to want to click on thicken lines to make them more legible. But in this case, the lines are thick enough for ScanTCAD to recognize, so there's no need for us to click on that. So let's click on OK. The next step is to click on convert raster image. In this case, I also want to convert these raster text into editable vector text so we can edit them on AutoCAD. So what you want to do is click on vectorize in OCR here in under the options. For the vectorization method, this particular floor plan falls under technical drawing, so let's stick to technical. As for the presets, it is an architectural drawing, so we're going to stick with that, but we have some other options here depending on the type of drawing that you're working with. So one last thing we need to edit are the OCR settings. So click on the OCR tab. You want to set the maximum character size, so click on select from image, look for the largest text objects here. I think it might be the room label, so let's zoom in on one of them. Click and drag to set the maximum character size here. If you have any vertical or angular text in your image, then you should tick those appropriately, but in this case, I think there aren't any vertical or angular text, so there's no need for us to tick that. So with all of those settings ready for conversion, we're going to click on Run to generate a preview here. Depending on how complex your image is, it might take a little bit longer, but it converted pretty cleanly. So you can see the difference between a raster JPEG image and a converted vector file. So now that we're done with that, we click on OK. And the last step is just to click on Export here on the upper right. Choose the file format you want to use. AutoCAD can recognize both DXF and DWG files. I think by default we want to stick with DWG. So there's an option of AutoCAD 2013 and AutoCAD 2018. So that just depends on what version of AutoCAD you're using. If it's the latest version, then click on AutoCAD 2018. And you can name it whatever you want to name it. And then click on Save. Another thing you want to check is before clicking on OK for the export options, you want to make sure that the AutoCAD compatibility option here to convert black vectors to white is checked. It's just because ScanTCAD converts these black raster lines into black vectors, but for most AutoCAD users, the default setting for their background is it's set to a dark color. So if you have black vectors on a dark colored background, it'll be hard for anyone to see these vector lines to work on. So clicking on convert black vectors to white just makes it so that all these black vectors get turned into white colored vector lines. And when you open it on ScanTCAD, they're easier to see against a dark colored background. So after you make sure that is ticked, just click on OK, and that should save your file. So that's the quick and easy way to use AutoCAD to convert your JPEG files into DWG files that you can then edit and open on your AutoCAD program.